Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today, the video is going to be about the cost of living in Fort Worth, Texas. Whether you're thinking about moving here or you need to relocate for work, this video will be great for you so you can find out what the cost of living in Fort Worth is. The first and the most major cost of moving to a new city is the housing. In Fort Worth today, the median house price anywhere from $325 to $450. Yes, you can get them cheaper, you can get them more expensive, but that's about the average cost for a normal household is $325 to $450. Now, if you're moving in and don't really know where you want to live when you get here, and you're looking maybe to rent an apartment or to rent a house, the apartment rentals, and this is average, so you can always get cheaper, you can always get more, but average to me means living in a place that you would be comfortable living. So an average apartment, the studio apartment, I would say is about $1,150. One bedroom will go up to $1,300 or $1,400, and then so on. And the average house to rent, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with, say, a 2-car garage, you're looking at about $2,000, an average of about $2,000 a month. So that is the housing cost of living in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, the next is the cost of living for food, groceries, and restaurants. Fort Worth is 1% less, believe it or not, than the national average. That's the national average. But the food here is still expensive. Yes, we still have pretty high eggs, but you can find, say, a dozen eggs for under $5 now, and they're still on the shelves. So one thing with the cost of living with groceries is since we are such a large city, there's a lot of competition. You can get discount groceries where you sack it yourself. You can go to Central Market, Trader Joe's. You've got the big box store, the Kroger's, the Albertsons, Tom Thumbs. Then you also got the discount groceries. So the one good thing in Fort Worth, there's so many groceries that they're all in competition. So they all got a lot of sales going on. And so the groceries, really, you can get them at a pretty good cheap price, but you can also go to stores that charge quite a bit. So you're kind of, at least in this area, I feel like you're in control with the grocery purchasing. Now, as far as restaurants here, an inexpensive meal with a drink, you're looking at $20. The meal is anywhere from $15 to $17, and then with the drink, you're looking at $20, and that's just like a coffee or a Coke. So I always order water. Now you're talking about a mid-range meal for about 2 people, going to a decent sit-down dinner, you're looking at $50. And that's not even counting if you're a drinker and you have, and if you're going to drink some alcoholic beverages. Those are going to be range anywhere from $12 to $20, depending on which restaurant you go to, unless you hit some happy hour. Anyway, even McDonald's but a McDonald's meal is going $10. Whataburger is more like $13 for just a meal. And that's one. And so it is getting a little bit higher, expensive to eat out. There is, like I say, there's a lot of places to go. There's a lot of competition for that, but the restaurants are still the higher version. The grocery part is more controllable as far as what you have to spend. They do say an average Fort Worthian is spending $289 a month per person on groceries. And that's just the groceries part, not the restaurant part. So, a family of 4, you're looking at $1,200 a month for groceries. There it is for the groceries and restaurants here in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, the next cost of living that we need to talk about is property taxes. We do not have state taxes here in Texas, but we do have property taxes, and they're quite a bit higher than the rest of the United States. Actually, we are number 6 in the country on the highest taxes. So there's only 5 other states with higher taxes than Texas, and it's the same. And Tarrant County is mostly the Fort Worth area, and in Texas, Tarrant County taxes are typically one of the higher counties in Texas that's taxed at a higher rate. Anyway, in the Fort Worth area, you can get anywhere from 1.6 to 2.5% tax, and that's based on the value of the home. So say if you purchase a $300,000 home, you're going to, depending on the tax rate, you're going to pay anywhere from $4,800 to $7,000 on property taxes. So that can really put you almost up in a different category of purchasing a home once you have to find out how much taxes you have to pay. Because, like I say, it's based on the appraised value. Anyway, we do have what they call the homestead exemption. So if you're buying a home as your primary residence to live in, then you get a exemption, a tax exemption for that. You have to file for it, but you do get a tax exemption for that. And sometimes that it's not huge, but it can save you anywhere from average $800, and depending on the price of the home, it could go up higher. We also have a senior tax. Once you hit 65, you can file for the over 65 exemption, which is very helpful. It will say if your taxes are about $5,500, it'll bring it down to $4,800. So with those exemptions, it makes it a little bit more bearable as far as that goes. But anyway, that is the taxes for the and one more thing. Also, the veterans get a tax exemption. If you are a 100% disabled veteran, then you get you pay zero taxes, which I think is a wonderful. I think we need to have all veterans pay zero taxes, but for right now, it's just the 100% disabled veterans that do not have to pay property tax. So that is very helpful there also. Like I say, the property taxes are different from neighborhood to neighborhood, city to city, county to county. So but that is one thing you want to take into consideration when you start looking at homes in the Fort Worth or the Texas Fort Worth area, is how much are the taxes in the area that I want to live. Anyway, that's all about the taxes, and that was a definitely need to know. Now we talk about transportation. Transportation here in Fort Worth could be more costly than a lot of other places, because Fort Worth is a car-dependent city. Everything is so spread out that you pretty much have to have a car. Yes, they've got Ubers. Yes, they've got taxis. We've got a bus system, but since everything is so spread out, an Uber and a taxi can cost you a small fortune having to take one of those every time you go somewhere, unless you don't go too many times. And the bus system itself really only operates like inner city here in Fort Worth. So there's a lot of areas that you may live that the bus routes do not cover. However, a single bus ride costs about $2.50. A monthly cost for a bus ticket is about $80. Now the gas is a lot cheaper than some areas. A gallon of gas averages about $3 a gallon. However, I did just get on Gas Buddy, which is a friendly app to find gas stations that are selling gas cheaper, and the average on that taxi ride and Uber ride averages about $2 a mile. But like I say, everything's so spread out that that it could add up quite a bit. Liability car insurance is required in the state of Texas, and that its average cost is approximately $67 a month. This figure represents the minimum coverage required by the state and can vary based on factors such as age, driving history, location, and credit score. The average cost for a year of full coverage car insurance in Texas is approximately $2,800, reflecting a 6% increase from $2,700 in 2024. The Trinity Rail Express, better known as the TRE, is also a convenient way to commute to work for just some various employers. It is also convenient to go to sporting events, concerts, and the DFW airport. And it's reasonably priced, anywhere from $4 to $12 a ticket round trip. So that's kind of the public transportation cost. Fort Worth actually anywhere in Texas probably cost you more for transportation because everything is so spread out. I say most places are car dependent areas in Texas where you have to drive. And a lot of places in Fort Worth now, when they're building new roadways, they're turning them to toll roads. So we do have a lot of toll roads in the area, so they got to keep that in mind. However, it's all worth it. Come on down to Fort Worth, Texas, and we'll show you around. Living in Fort Worth, whether you're looking for a home that fits your budget or just curious about how far your money can go here, I'm happy to help. If you're thinking about making a move to the Fort Worth area, let's chat. Call, text, or message me. I'm never too busy to help. Thanks and have a great day.